group by, and the function is called the aggregate function. Aggregate function. So these two are working together. Okay. So what is the aggregate functions? Aggregate functions is a functions that will work on multiple row together. For example, these are the 4 records and everyone having salary. Salary is one column. Okay. Now, if I will run the aggregate function on this column, if I will run the aggregate functions on this column, so it will not give you a result on the basis of one records, but it will give you the result on the basis of all the columns. So it will use all the rows. So it will use more than one row. It will use the complete result set and then decide the result. That is called the aggregate function. Aggregate means combinedly many records, combinedly multiple row and giving the records. For example, if I will ask sum of salary, so it is not possible by single row. It will use all the result set, what are the records are coming, and then for example, this is a salary column, so they will add this one, and this one, combinedly all this, and then give you the result. So it is using more than one records to generate the results. That's why it is called the sum as an aggregate function. So for example, sum, average, max, mean, these all are the aggregate functions because this is using more than one row to calculate the, to find out the result. For example, count is also one aggregate function. Now here important thing, count star, count 1, count 2, what is the difference between count 1 and count 2? So okay, I will tell you. Count star means how many result set is coming. It will give you the result, it will give you the maximum number of row. Count 1 means, for example, uh, for example count 1 means they are going to count this one. Okay, so for example, 3 records are there. Here 1, 2, and here null is there. Here A, B, C, P, Q, R. So what will happen? Count star is 3, count 1 equal to 2, count 2 equal to 3. So this is the differences. Count star means it will use the complete result set and find out the maximum count. Count 1 is only finding the first row. If any null is there, so it will exclude this one. So this is excluded. So only 2 are coming. So count 1 will be 2. Count 2 equal to 3. Count 2 equal to, for example, this is count 2. So you see here 3 columns are there, 3 rows are there. So it will give you the 3. So this is the difference between count star, count 1 and count 2. Even we can use the count and column name, column A. So it is again basic on the basis on the based on the column A. If any null is there, then it will be reduce the count. So in count, null is ignored. It's not in use for the count. Okay, now let's talk about the aggregate function. So we see that sum, average, max, mean, count, all these are the aggregate function. Aggregate functions, if any group by is there, then definitely one aggregate function should be there in the select statement. But without group by also we can use the aggregate functions. Now let's discuss this one. So okay, 1 or 2 points I will tell you here first. Where conditions, then we can use the group by, then we can use the having, then we can use the order by, and here in select we can use the aggregate function. It is based on are we using group by or not. If any if group by is there, then definitely aggregate function should be there. But if the aggregate function is there, it is not necessary. How we can say, it's maybe group by is there, group by could be present or could not be. So if aggregate function is there, then the group by could be, could not be, but the group by is there, then definitely aggregate function will be there. And the important thing, where always come before group by. We cannot use where conditions after group by. Only what we can do after group by, after group by having. Why we are using having? To restrict the result from the group by. So we can use the having, and we can use at the end order by. Now let's discuss all these concepts here. So we discussed that the where condition we can use before the group by, okay, and we can use the aggregate functions without the group by. Let's talk about this. So what we are going to use here, CT, comma, let's use first count. So you can see here we can use the count without group by. Okay, so this is the first conditions I discussed. Without group by also we can use the aggregate functions. Now let me use CT here, comma, count. So okay, so this is confusing one. This is not the right result, because what is happened here, if you see the CTR, many cities are there, but count is giving 81 because 81 count is there, so that's why it's picked the first record. So what is the best options here? Now if you are using count, we should use here group by CT. Now see what will happen. So here it is saying, where is London? So only five customer is there who is from the London, and most of okay, now let's use order by. You see here, so maximum customer is from the London, so 5 customer is from the London, 4 customer is from the Sao Paulo, 3 customer is there the Mexico DF, 3 customer is from the Rio de Janeiro. So you can see this result. So what I am doing, I am using where conditions, I am using group by conditions, and finally I am using the order by. Now what is the order by? Order by is count I am using. Now if you wanted to use max Now what we can use other aggregate function, max of customer ID. Okay, so what it is saying, there are 5 customer that is from the London city, and the 72 is a customer ID that is maximum customer ID who is from the London. You got this point? So maximum customer ID is giving, there are 5 customer from the London. Okay, let me see here how many are from the London. It's a case sensitive, so we have to use capital C. Customers where city equal to London. So I told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yes, 6. But 1 is less than 10. And in these conditions, I am putting customer ID is greater than 10. So it is not coming into the result set. I hope it is clear. So except this, there is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, except this, there is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So only 5 customer is there, and the maximum customer ID is 72. So that's why it is coming here 72. So I saw you here how we can use the two aggregate function here. Now you understand why we have to use where before the group by. If you use where conditions after group by, it will throw an error. See, check the syntax, check the manual and corresponding MySQL. Okay, and where is the problem? Customer ID is greater than 10. It should be okay. So what is happening, I will explain you in the back end. So first it will execute the where customer ID is greater than 10. Don't worry here, they will, these things they will execute at the end. First they will execute the where conditions, they will bring the data, and then they will execute this one. So first conditions what they are going to execute, the customer ID is greater than 10. If they will execute the customer ID is greater than 10, then they will exclude 1 to 10, and from 11 to 91. You see here maximum is 91. So 11 to 91 they will bring one result set. Okay. Now on this result set, having 80 or 81 records, on these records they will group by city. So they will group by city in this means they will group by how many are from the London, how many are from the San Francisco, how many are there from the other cities, London, Mexico, how many are there from Paris. So like that they will make a group, and then after that they will display, they will execute this command ct, they will calculate the count, and then they will calculate the maximum customer ID. So first they know we are using the group by ct, that's why we have to use here ct. This is again interesting. If we are using group by ct, then definitely ct should be here. So now they are using ct. Now they are running the aggregate function count. So they will count only London city, how many are there London, because we are using the group by London. Okay. So if you execute here, then it will give you this result, basically this result. Now they are going to use count. So how many count is there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count is there. What is the maximum customer ID? So 72 is the maximum customer ID. That's why you see here 5 is the count and 72 is the maximum customer ID. Now they will calculate everything here till here. Now at the end they will execute this order by to display. So they will, at the end they will execute this one for the display purpose, order by. So this is happening in the backend. So for example, if I will remove city, let's see what is happening. It's giving the result, but it's very confusing. What is this count? What is this maximum ID? For which city it's belong? So this is not the right result. So we have to use the city here. Now let's see what will happen if I will remove these two. Only city. It's giving result, but it's, I hope it should throw error that there is no aggregate methods you are using. Okay. So till now just understand, first we have to use the where conditions, after that the group by. Okay, now one more thing. Now I wanted to, from this I wanted to know only the conditions, only that city where the count is more than 2. Okay, now I wanted to, from this result set having, I think 60, how many result set is there? 63 records are there. Now I wanted to know only the records that having count is greater than 2. So how we can do that? So group by city, and then we can use to restrict this group by result with the having condition. Having, you see here. So it will give you only the city where the count is more than 2. So this is the way to restrict the group by conditions, group by result. So to restrict this result, we are using where conditions. Now to restrict the group by result, we have to use the having conditions. So having is used to restrict the result that is coming from the group by conditions. So I hope it is clear. Now we discuss the where conditions, group by, having, aggregate functions, order by, everything. So this is all about the group by and the aggregate functions. I hope it is fine for today. One more sessions I need to cover complete SQL, and then after we will discuss some MCQs. So if you like, if you think that this is useful for you for examinations, then please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you very much.